As champions, Golden State did exactly what they were supposed to do. They came home and they upped the level of physicality. They were the more physical team tonight on both ends of the floor. And it resulted in 22 points off our turnovers and 24 points off their offensive rebounds. We couldn't do anything with Loon tonight. Even Dante DiVincenzo rebounding from the perimeter. I mean, he was really, really good for them. And those two guys, Loon with 9 offensive rebounds, Dante with 4 offensive rebounds, and then you had a couple other guys get 2 and 1. That plus the points off our turnovers were the biggest difference in the game. You think you're playing the Warriors and they shoot 40% from the field and 32% from the three. You think you have a chance to win, but when you don't bring it in those areas like they did tonight, especially with their championship pedigree, it's going to be tough to win. So you got to give them credit because that's where credit is due, and we got to watch the film and see where we can get a little bit better and come out with more physicality and pace in our next game.
Mike, it right here. It feels like they're mucking up your offense pretty well. What is it that they're doing, and how do you guys get better looks from three? You guys haven't shot well the entire series.
When we go back and watch the film, we're you give them credit though, but we're missing some open threes. I thought Keegan had a couple open. I thought Fox had it, and they're they're trying to make certain guys shoot open threes. And we definitely didn't make them tonight, but for the most part, I would take all the threes that we took tonight. We got to do a better job of, they're collapsing everybody when we drive to the rim, and so we have to do a better job of playing off of 2 feet and not try to score over top of 2 and sometimes 3 guys. So we got to do a better job with tonight, but I'm okay with the threes that we're taking. They are mucking. They did a great job mucking us up offensively tonight, just because their physicality was definitely at a higher level than ours.
Hey, Mike, right over here. Pace. It looked like the Warriors slowed down their pace, didn't push the ball. Steph was bringing the ball up, especially off of a defensive rebound. Did you think that affected you guys at all?
No, I thought in the first half our pace wasn't good. We did a better job with it in the second half, but I don't. They can play at whatever pace they want. We still just got to try to play fast, because we've gone against teams that don't necessarily want to run when we play them, and we still do a pretty good job of getting out. I thought in the second half we did a better job of it.
Coach Brown, Tony Arvia, NBC Sports Radio. Kevon Looney, you work with this guy. You had a monster game tonight. You talk a little bit about what he was doing, especially like on that offensive end.
I mean, he was doing what he does. He's got a big, strong body, but he's about as smart as they come, and so he understands angles and all that other stuff. And at the last second, he does a great job of nudging you so that he has an advantage. And we didn't do a good job to his body most times to keep him off the glass. If you don't, you're in trouble.
Mike, in the back here. You got Domas 10 assists through 3 games, and you're getting asked this question every night. But the first 2 games, you win without him doing what he does offensively. And Looney's a tough matchup. How much of it is that? How much of it is Domas struggling? What are you seeing there?
No, so they're doing a great job again with their physicality. We love, everybody knows we play the DHO game, and they're doing a great job of getting into our bodies and blowing up the DHO game, and so that's why the assists aren't there. If there's anything that Domas has to do is when he gets in the paint, sometimes he plays off of 1 foot or he jumps in the air, and they're playing him one-on-one. and so he's got to either finish at the rim or he's got to come to a jump stop and think spray if possible, because it looks like somebody's open because they're looking like they're coming to help, but at the last second they're just like, screw it, I'm going to stay out on the shooter and let Domas try to make a play, because they know that he's a very good passer.
Coach of the year, by the way.
Thank you, sir.
In terms of Keegan, why do you think he's had these struggles so far? And typically, what is your mentality with rookies in the playoffs?
Well, not many rookies are starting for a playoff team and playing a significant role like he is. So, this is great for him to go through. We want him to stay aggressive. We want him to keep shooting the ball. We feel like he's getting some pretty good looks. They're just not going in, but I think they will go in. That's why we want him to keep shooting it and then try to play defense the right way and see if he can get out and get some easies in transition. So this is just really new it's new for a lot of our guys. But this is really new for him, and we love him. We're going to have patience with him, and we're going to give him a chance to succeed. But he's got to go through these growing pains in order to figure it out.
Mike, just generally, do you believe in momentum in a playoff series? And if so, what's going to be key for you guys on Sunday to try to snatch it back?
It can happen. Each of these games is just so different. You're able to go back and reset and figure out what you did wrong in the last game, and they know everything we're trying to do. And you got to give them credit for the way that they played tonight. So I don't look at it as, we had momentum after the first two games. Now they have momentum. We got to come out and we got to be more physical than what we did tonight on both ends. So we got to set better screens. We got to be stronger with the ball because they're swiping down and they may or may not be hitting us, but it's not going to get called for either team. So what is it? On the defense end of the floor, we got to get up into them. They had a lot of freedom of movement tonight that they hadn't had in the previous two games because we weren't as physical as we were those first two games. And so it's pretty simple, in my opinion. But we just got to go do it now.
Yeah, Looney had back to left.
Okay.
Looney had 9 offensive rebounds tonight. I think he led the league this year in offensive rebounds. What do you have to do better against him? I mean, he's not a high-flying offensive rebounder, but he just seems to get a ton.
Yeah, because he's smart, he's strong, he's relentless. So we got to gang rebound. We did a decent job of gang rebounding the first two games against him. Sending a second body at him at times. We can't allow him to go one-on-one with Domas or Alex because he's obviously, especially tonight, done a good job of winning that battle. So you got to send a second body at him a little more than what we did, as opposed to just kind of standing and watching and thinking that he's going to come up with the rebound.
Mark Haynes, Sac Observer. Would this being you guys' first defeated, is this kind of like your team's welcome to the playoff moment?
I don't know. I don't know. It's a good question. At least I don't look at it that way. I mean, look, they're the NBA champions. Nobody said we were going to go into the series and sweep them or go 4-0. This is what the playoffs are about. We won 2 tough games at home. We did a great job in the areas that we emphasize. We didn't tonight, and they did. And that's why they're champions. They're more than capable, and they did exactly what they were supposed to do tonight. So you give them credit, and you figure out what you did wrong, and you try to get after it a little bit better in the next game. But But I don't know if I look at it as welcome to the playoffs, because game one for us was, in my opinion, was that.
Mike, two questions. Number one, it seemed like first quarter, third quarter, when you brought Davion in, they took Steph out. Do you think that was coincidence, or does that feel like an adjustment on their side?
It might be. You would have to ask them, that their rotations were different because they were missing two guys to play minutes for them, Gary and Draymond. So we knew their rotations were going to be different. So I don't know. You would have to ask Steve if it was because of those two guys being missing or if it was because they were trying to, I guess, take Steph out when Davion came in.
Okay, and you've been in this environment so many times, kind of a first time for your team in a playoff atmosphere. How did you think they responded? There were some early turnovers, early fouls. Did it feel like they were rattled a little bit? And can they learn from that and grow between this game and the next one?
Heck yeah! Every time we step on the floor, we're growing. Whether we win or we lose, tonight they just our group had a chance to experience what a championship team does when their back's against the wall. So again, the physicality and their will to try to do things to help them win was evident. And they did all the small things that we had been doing a pretty good job of in games 1 and 2. So, great test for us, great way to learn, and we'll try to go watch the film and come back for game 4 and be a little bit better in those areas.
Coach, just that third quarter especially looked like there was some frustrations there. How much did that have to do with, either some of the unfamiliar personnel or some of that physicality on your guys' end?
There was frustration throughout the game. You give up, 19 offensive rebounds, and every time we turn it over, they're scoring. That's not fun, So there was frustration throughout the course of the game. I don't know if it was just in the third. The third was the only quarter that we tied or won. We didn't even win a quarter. We tied. Do a better job in those two areas, taking care of the ball, and then putting bodies on bodies so that they're not getting 24, 25 second chance points.
Hey, Coach, over here. To bounce off Keegan and his struggles, he's not one to get too high or too low, but how do you feel he's doing mentally during these struggles? And is there anyone on the team that he kind of turns to and has those type of conversations with to seek any advice or, have those types of conversations with?
You'd have to ask him that question. Talks to on a team when it comes to that stuff, but this is good for him. Again, we got confidence in him. We want him to continue to let that thing fly. He's got to play D. He's got to box out, and he's going to learn and grow through experiences like this, and that's why he's out on the floor. He's done a fantastic job for us all season, and this is a different level, and it's a level that he's got to get used to because we plan on being here.
Yeah, Coach, over on your right over here.
Okay.
In the home game against New York earlier this year, I think it was 22 or 23 offensive rebounds that your guys allowed, and you were very clearly frustrated in that post-game presser. I'm curious how your message is different tonight or how you go about differently displaying that frustration to your group because it's the postseason.
Well, I think I said this before a couple of times. During the post, you do a lot of your hard coaching during the regular season. Stuff's going to happen. These guys are NBA champions. They got the DNA of knowing how to win, and especially when their backs are against the wall. And so, for me to get after them now, they know what our guys know what they did. I told them they're gonna see it on the film tomorrow. But in the same breath, we got to keep our heads up. This is one game. The series is not over. We got to regroup, stay positive, and understand. You give them their respect, but now we have to come back and try to, hit first, hit second, hit third in our next game. It's as simple as that. This is a learning and growing experience for us against the champions. And again, it's not time for me to do that right now. That's left for the preseason and regular season. Thanks, everyone. Thank you, guys.